Joining us now for reaction to the new footage is former Secret Service agent, former DHS senior advisor Charles Marino. Charles, great to have you on this morning. Just want to get your initial reaction to this new body cam footage.
Well, it's not surprising when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And Secret Service did that spectacularly because they were responsible to set up the overall operational security plan for this. You see plenty of state and local law enforcement there. The problem was they weren't put in the areas where they were needed by the Secret Service. State and local law enforcement defers to the Secret Service as the primary agency in the planning of the protection of the former president. And they failed at that big time, and they own this. And what we see is chaos. We had chaos because there was no coordination, there was no communication. It exposed all of these other cracks in the system, and it becomes a free-for-all, becomes a much more dangerous environment for law enforcement. We know it was already a dangerous environment for the former president and for those that showed up to the rally. And this is what you get. This is what you get when you fail to put together a comprehensive plan.
There is body cam footage from one of the officers who apparently climbed a ladder onto the roof and saw the shooter. And then 40 seconds went by and he opened fire. He got off 8 shots before he was taken out by a Secret Service sniper who we have yet to hear from. And now we're talking a month ago. What do you make of that and the amount of time that elapsed between this guy being spotted by an officer who climbed a ladder and then Crooks, the shooter, firing 8 shots at Donald Trump's head?
You know, Rob, it's amazing what would have prevented all this. And in reality, this should have been a 5-minute conversation about putting people on the roof to prevent something like this from happening. But what you saw, the reaction from local law enforcement climbing up there, having the weapon pointed at them and jumping back down. Look, that's the way state and local law enforcement officers are trained. They're trained to identify somebody that's armed. Yes, the former president was there, but it comes down to the training. And the training is to create distance and try and resolve the problem. That's opposite of the way the Secret Service is trained, as we saw that day. They're trained to respond to the shots, to cover the body, right? To engage the target as quickly as possible. And so you can see the change there, which is why, look, if somebody had tried to scale that roof while law enforcement was up there with a weapon, they would have been in a better position to confront that threat. But because they gave up the high ground on this building, 130 yards away with a direct line of sight to the former president, they lost. They lost this from the very start.
All right. Charles, appreciate you being with us this morning and breaking that down. We will stay on top of this story moving forward. Charles Marino, thank you.
Thanks.